we're now going to discuss the brown candle, and I might be here a while because there's so many uses for this colour, it's unbelievable. So the first thing that I want to talk about is this is the colour for finding things that are lost. Now, if you've lost property, or you've lost your cat, or something's gone missing and you frantically need to find it, this colour will help you to do that. I have used brown on a few occasions in my life. When my cat went missing, I lit 5 brown candles, and more recently I lost a beautiful bracelet and couldn't find it anywhere, so I did a spell using brown candles and it came back the very next day I found it. So it's very good for that. If you are a more spiritual person and want to try and find out what your power animal is, this is a good candle to do that with, better than any other, I think. So I once meditated with a brown candle and found that my power animal was a bird, and I dreamt about this bird. So the messages do come in odd ways, but you just have to know how to interpret them. Brown is also very good if you want to stop a bully in its tracks, and sometimes children get picked on at school, or it might be that you have a boss that's bullying you. If you light a brown candle and inscribe their name into the wax and the word stop, that usually is enough. So yeah, very good for that. I have known witches who have said that this colour is very good for people that want to stop smoking, or people that have trouble with their weight, and like I do, and that need to diet. So I will be lighting one of these very shortly, and that's brown. Now we move on to red, and red candles are really all about sex, passion and romance, but it's always a very lusty situation that you'll be spelling for. So if your relationship is really sort of sexually non-existent, you would, if you wanted to revive that, you would light a red candle and always burn it in the bedroom. So it's a sexy colour. Unfortunately, there are people out there that practice dark magic, and these candles can be used a lot when you're wanting to steal somebody's husband, or you're wanting to have an affair with somebody that could never belong to you. And I don't advocate anything like that. Any spells that I cast are always for the greater good. But you know, you have to be very careful as well. If you're spelling for passion and you're spelling for love or anything along those lines, you need to make sure that the person that you are sending your thoughts to is actually available and willing. Now, the other purposes of red can be health related, and they're fabulous for giving energy and vigour. So if you're lacking in energy, or you're falling asleep a lot during the day, you would say, I'm going to light a red candle and you know, try and boost my energy levels, and it really does help. What many people don't realise is also red can be very good for people having operations or anything connected to the blood. Think red blood. So if somebody has a blood disorder, or if somebody even having trouble with their periods and their menstrual cycle, you would burn red. So you know, it has got some medical advantages as well. So just keep in mind what I said about the stealing other people's husbands and stealing other people's men. Doesn't work, okay? Not on my book, okay? Now next I'm going to be talking about a candle colour which isn't very common, but is quite essential in your candle kits, and this is the colour magenta. So it's a darker red, and there are two different coloured magentas here, one slightly paler than the other, and you'll notice this one in my left hand is made of beeswax. Now I like beeswax candles, but they aren't very practical when you're wanting to inscribe them with your desire. So you might prefer to use a longer, smaller tapered candle instead. Now, magenta is one of those candles that can really send a lot of power to the person who's casting the spell, and it works fantastically for those people that suffer with social embarrassments. Now, there are many people the world over that appear to be confident on the outside, when in actual fact they're dying within, and they're blushing and they're sweating and they're suffering terribly with their nerves, and this can be a real problem. This particular coloured candle, and especially the little beeswax one, if you say your incantation over the lit magenta candle, really will stop all those nerves. So if you have an interview to go to, or if you're having to stand up on stage, perform, make a speech, you would use this. It stops blushing and it stops sweating and it calms you down from the inside. Now, it also has a very powerful magic where it can help people whose lives are hopeless. And with this, I'm talking about maybe people who suffer with eating disorders such as anorexia, for those who self-harm, for those that are addicted to drugs and can't get off them, or even those that are suicidal. This candle is so powerful, with the right spell over the top really can make a difference. And in my whole of my life I've used this periodically and it has always worked. So if you can get hold of a magenta candle, I would suggest it's a good idea to have one just nearby, you know, so you can put your hand on it if you need to. So that is magenta. Now we go to gold. Now it's very unusual for you to find a gold candle that is solid all the way through. These are mainly dipped. You can get silver ones and gold ones, and they're usually available to purchase around Christmas time. So I usually get a big stack of them and put them away. Some people don't like to use dipped candles because they say they don't work as well. I used to be of that opinion, but I do all sorts of experiments with my spell casting, and I have found that dipped or solid, it does tend to work just as well. So this lovely gold colour you would use for wealth, you would use for success, and you would use for business deals. So it's a very powerful colour. The other thing which I have tried, and it has worked, if you have a mystery in your life and you want to get to the bottom of it, or if you have an inclination that somebody is doing something behind your back and you want the truth to come forward, use gold. Never lets you down.
Why not watch part 4 on black and white candles, rainbow candles and the pathway candle. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel.